A Colorado plastic surgeon whose staff administered several times the necessary amount of anesthetic to a teenager undergoing a breast augmentation procedure, then waited 5 hours to get help when she stopped breathing, will spend 15 days behind bars. Dr. Jeffrey Kim, age 54, was found guilty in June of attempted reckless manslaughter and obstructing telephone service for expressly prohibiting his staff from dialing 911 for hours after the teen turned blue and went into cardiac arrest and then slipped into a coma. The Arapahoe County Court jury ultimately acquitted the doctor of the most serious charge against him, which is negligent homicide. Kim was sentenced on Thursday, November 16th, after his 15 days in jail. Also, Kim will have to remain on probation for at least 2 years. Kim must pay roughly $70K in fines and completed 120 hours of community service in a facility for those who have suffered brain injuries. The Colorado Medical Board suspended Kim's license indefinitely on November 17th. The board acknowledged the suspension in a Monday email to the news outlet. In August, Kim was allowed to continue practice provided that he disclosed his convictions to prospective clients. The teen, who was then 18 years old, recently graduated from Mount Range High School, saved up $6,000 herself for the procedure, which took place on August 1st of 2019. Others stated that in December of 2019, her daughter was alive in a vegetative state. After a 14-month coma, the teen later died in hospice care at the age of 19. Although her heart was still beating, the family's attorney, David Woodruff, previously stated that her brain had undergone severe damage from prolonged oxygen deprivation. Nurses that worked with Kim at his Colorado anesthetic and plastic surgery testified that they wanted to call for help when the teen's heart stopped beating during her breast augmentation procedure. But after he resuscitated the girl with CPR, Kim told them not to. Quote, not only does he not call 911 himself, but Kim tells every other staff member in the operating room that they cannot call 911 either. Kim gave the teen's mother repeated assurances that her daughter was all right as hours passed. Finally, after the woman demanded to see her daughter, emergency services were called. When first responders arrived at the practice, Tip told jurors that Kim told them that her cardiac arrest had just happened, further delaying proper medical care. Quote, the huge travesty here is that the location of his office is in a parking lot shared by the fire department, and the EMTs could have been there in 45 seconds to a minute. Rex Meeker, the former anesthetist at the Greenwood, Colorado clinic, faced charges of criminally negligent homicide and reckless manslaughter. Those charges were dismissed in September of 2022, and Meeker will go on to testify against Kim. Quote, I told him we should send her to the hospital. It's standard operating procedure. Meeker reportedly saw the teen turn blue, per accounts on court documents. Investigators later determined that Meeker had administered 7 times the necessary amount of fentanyl to the teen, per documents. The teen reportedly went into cardiac arrest before Kim made his first incision. The anesthesist would voluntarily surrender his license per Colorado Medical Board documents, despite Kim's orders to the contrary. The board stated that Meeker was obligated to dial 911 when the teen stopped breathing. Kim's defense team argued that in court, regardless of how long emergency services were delayed, the amount of fentanyl Meeker administered would have been fatal. I'm just going to go back to what I've been stating for years, that everything stems from home. Where are the women to specifically let this girl know that her body is okay? Right? Again, a father can sit up there and say, hey, I love you. You're perfect just the way that you are. Right? A father can sit up there and say that, but he's not a woman. Right? Again, a father can sit up there and say a lot of nice words, but a lot of nice words are only going to go so far. You need people who specifically walked this, who lived this, who understand this, who see this for exactly what it is. And all of this stems from lack of knowledge, lack of love of self, lack of accepting self, not seeing the full value or potential within yourself. A lot of women will go out there and say that, oh, it's a woman's decision to go out there and do this. You can't tell her what to do. You're just a man. You don't understand, and all this other type of stuff. But when we try to sit up there and speak common sense, because it's obviously not that common, when we obviously try to talk in the language of logic, because obviously a lot of people out here are logical, men are condemned. And we specifically tell women like, yo, don't go out here and do this because these are the things that could specifically happen. A mother just lost her daughter, her 18-year-old daughter. She passed away when she turned 19 in hospice, pretty much in a vegetative state, in a coma. Last time she really saw her daughter was at the age of 18 before she walked into that doctor's office. Before that girl even went to that doctor's office, some of the women in the family should have specifically spoken out and be like, yo, don't do this. You don't know what could, potentially happen. You might not come out the same. You might not come out at all. Like I said, everybody that was involved in this are still alive. They get to still see their family. They get to still work or go out there and find jobs. They get to grow old. They get to have kids. They get to get married or remarried or whatnot or whatever. She doesn't. All because she wanted to have a breast augmentation because she was seeking some type of validation, some type of reassurance, some type of security, some type of attention. These are all the reasons why a lot of women go out there and get cosmetic surgery. Don't believe the hype when you hear women out here on social media, oh no, I did this for me and only me. Right. So you got all that, you spent 60 to 100 grand on your body just so that you can see it. So every single time, you're the only one looking at this. You're the only one enjoying this. Come on now. Like I said, I need people to stop capping out here. I need people to be 100% when it is that they go out here and do these things and get directly under the knife. You're doing it because your self-esteem is low. You're doing it because the love that you have for yourself is low. Like I said before, there's a multitude of different surgeries directly out here. Some people do the weight loss surgery. And you have a lot of people that opt. I'm not talking about morbidly obese. I'm talking about normal, average, everyday people that can walk, that don't need a cane or a wheelchair or anything else to help them get from place to place. You got a lot of women out here that would rather throw down 10, 20, 30, 50 grand on the table to, have their bodies open up so they can get their stomach stapled or get a band slapped directly on there so that they'll eat a little bit less. When realistically, that's not fixing the problem. That's enabling you to still do the same things. You just have limits because you can't decide to limit yourself, which is completely nonsensical. You need 50 grand to help put a limit on what it is that you put inside of your body versus you actually conditioning yourself physically and mentally to stop yourself from eating all of those things, all of those unhealthy things that are helping you gain weight. And also, mind you, a lot of the chemicals that women take in from these foods are affecting them negatively internally, such as giving women fibroids and causing various different types of cancers. But like I said, when you have men out here that are trying to do their best and speak out and they're trying to bring awareness to a lot of these things out here, a lot of women don't want to listen because a lot of women don't care. Because a lot of women are going to do the things that they want to specifically do when they want to sit up there and do it, no matter what a man says, even if it's their father, their grandfather, if it's their boyfriend, if it's their fiance, even if it's their husband or even their son, they'll still go out here and do it. And then who has to sit up there and pay the cost after? It's those people that tried to sit up there and tell them. They're the ones that got to sit up there and go to the funeral. They got to go to hospice. They got to go to the surgery room. They got to go to the morgue. They got to plan the funeral. They got to bury the body. All because you wanted to go out here and make a decision that you thought was great because you see every other woman out here doing it. Like I said before, I need more women to stand up and to really start speaking directly on how dangerous these procedures are and how it is that you got a lot of these half-baked doctors and anesthesiologists out here who should not be working at all. They literally have somebody's life in their hands. And you heard what took place with the doctor. You got the EMS and the firefighters in the exact same area. They could have been there in a minute or less. And you opted not to get her the life-saving treatment that she needed because you wanted to finish through with the surgery so that you can collect that little bit of money from that girl. That's a shame. Everybody involved, I don't even care if they testified against Kim, everybody involved needs to be thrown directly in prison. That girl can no longer have a place of existence here on this plane, neither should they. Throw them directly under the prison and leave them there for the rest of their lives so that just like she can't see her family, she can't go out there and find a relationship, go get married, grow old, have kids, watch her kids grow up. She can't see any holidays or any type of birthdays or celebrations. She can't attend her college graduation if she decided to go back again. Make sure that none of them are able to do the exact same things. That's all I'm saying.